Good evening and welcome to the regular public meeting on April 7th. It's going to go with the land acknowledgement, national anthem. Go for the national anthem. If everybody can stand up, please. Territorial acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge the city of Bathurst as an ancestral homeland of the Mi'kmaq. Today, these lands are home to a diverse population of indigenous and other peoples. We also acknowledge with respect the diverse histories and cultures of the Mi'kmaq in this region. You will say it in French also? Yeah, okay. Reconnaissance territoriale, nous reconnaissons avec respect l'emplacement de la ville de Bathurst en tant que terre ancestrale du peuple Mi'kmaq. Aujourd'hui, ces terres sont hôtes d'une population diverse comprenant personnes natives du territoire et d'autres patries. Nous reconnaissons aussi avec respect l'histoire et les diverses cultures du peuple Mi'kmaq dans la région. Adoption of agenda.
That the agenda be approved as presented.
Move by Councillor Hondas, second by Councillor Scarry. All those in favor signify aye. Aye. All those against, motion carried. Declaration of conflict of interest.
No conflicts of interest were declared.
Okay, adoption of minutes.
That the minutes of the regular public meeting dated March 17th, 2025 be approved as circulated.
Could I have a mover to that motion? Moved by Councillor LeBlanc, second by Councillor Branch. All those in favor, please signify. Aye. All those against, motion carried. Consent of agenda?
There were no consent agenda items.
Okay, public and administrative presentations.
It does appear that Melinda Jarrett is not here to present, so we will move to the next item.
Okay. Finance, application for financing.
Whereas the City of Bathurst has received authorization by the Municipal Capital Borrowing Board to obtain funding for the capital expenses by way of a loan or by the issue or sale of debentures to the New Brunswick Municipal Finance Corporation for an amount not exceeding $1,277,000. Now therefore be it resolved that the Treasurer and Mayor be authorized to issue and sell to the New Brunswick Municipal Finance Corporation, a municipality of the City of Bathurst, debenture in the principal amount of $1,277,000 on such terms and conditions as are recommended by the New Brunswick Finance Corporation, and be it further resolved that the municipality of the City of Bathurst agrees to issue post-dated checks payable to the New Brunswick Municipal Finance Corporation as and when they are requested in payment of principal and interest charges on the above debenture, as authorized by vote of council of said municipality of the City of Bathurst at the regular public meeting of April 7, 2025.
Thank you. Do I have a Oh,
There's more.
you're not done.
It's one of the long ones.
The long one.
In the general fund, the ministerial order number MO19-0083, dated November 12th, 2019. Date of council resolution, September 16th, 2019. Purpose by function, general governmental, in the amount of $250,000 for a term of 5 years. Ministerial order number MO24-0015, dated February 12th, 2024. Dated of council's resolution, December 18th, 2023. For transportation services for $165,000 for 10 years. MO24-0015. Date of ministerial order, February 12th, 2024. Date of council's resolution, December 18th, 2023. For transportation services for the amount of $187,000 for a term of 10 years for a total of $602,000 in general fund. Moving to utility fund, ministerial order MO22-0006, dated January 10th, 2022. Date of council's resolution, November 15th, 2021, for environmental health services utility for $150,000 for a term of 10 years. MO 2020-0006, January 10th, 2022. Date of council's resolution, November 22nd, 2021, for environmental health services utility for $405,000 for a term of 10 years. MO 24-0015, February 12th, 2024. Date of council's resolution, December 18th, 2023, environmental health services utility for $60,000 for a term of 7 years. And the last one, MO 24-0015, dated February 12th, 2024. Date of council's resolution, December 18th, 2023, for environmental health services utility for $60,000 for a term of 7 years for a total of $675,000 in utility fund for a total debenture request of $1,277,000.
I have a motion. Moved by Councillor Branch, second by Councillor Burnett. Is there any questions on the motion? No questions on the motion. Everybody signify to accept. Against? Motion carried. Okay, municipal bylaws. Submitting written objections or support regarding a proposal municipal plan amendment.
There were no written objections submitted. With that being said, we will go to the item 9.1, amendment to the municipal plan and zoning bylaw pursuant to section 111 of the Community Planning Act. Whereas the City of Bathurst proposes to amend bylaw number 2006-01 entitled the City of Bathurst Municipal Plan Bylaw and bylaw 2008-01 entitled the City of Bathurst Zoning Bylaw to allow the designation and use of the following lands as follows. Change the zoning of the lots bearing civic numbers 1270 to 1296 Daniel Drive and 1330 Vanier Boulevard and bearing PIDs 2002-7793, 2002-7785, 2002-7769, 2002-7744, 203-49247, and 203-48231. For the purposes of the municipal plan, the land use designation shall be changed from residential to integrated development. For the purpose of the zoning bylaw, the zoning is changed from the low-density residential type 1, R21 zone, to integrated development, ID zone. The purpose of this rezoning is to allow the development of a residential complex comprising of several multi-unit row houses. Be it resolved that 1. Bylaws amending the municipal plan and zoning bylaw be drafted for this purpose. 2. The city clerk acting on behalf of the council see that the public notice prescribed in section 111 of the Community Planning Act is posted on the municipality's website to announce the council's intention, the day and place for the consideration of objections to the proposed bylaws, and 3. Consideration of objections to the proposed bylaws take place at 6:30 p.m. on May 5th, 2025 in council chambers.
Could I have a mover with that? Moved by Councillor Branch, second by Councillor LeBlanc. Are there any questions on the motion? Councillor Burnett.
Thanks, Mr. Deputy Mayor. I had asked about the street alignment for having all these buildings go up, and where that street comes out onto the main road there, it's a really strange intersection with two entrances across the road and only one coming out there. And I was told that they might go back to the engineering department to look and see if there's any way of realigning that exit onto the main street.
Don't know anything about that. Through to Mr. Just a minute.
His mic's not on, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Okay. I know you raised that issue at when we made the public presentation. I think my answer was that the street already exists, and also that the plan, the proposal was also submitted to DOT for review, and we did not receive any comments or concerns from DOT or from the engineering department in-house. And I do not recall that we were supposed to bring the application any further to the engineering department. I was under the impression that the answer I gave at that evening was sufficient. So
I still find it's a really busy intersection. It's going to be much busier with all those new homes there and people coming out. So it's just a thought that we probably should in the future, if there's any movement on some of those buildings, look at reworking that exit, because it's I go up that way often, and sometimes getting out on the Vanier is very difficult from Ryan Avenue, and let alone you see cars coming out the other side, and they're wondering whether to go out or whatever is safe. It's questionable.
So
okay.
I take note of that, and I will have further discussion with the Public Works Department on this issue.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, 9:02. Okay, and see no other questions. All those in agreement signify? I thought I did. No, I had Councillor Branch and Councillor LeBlanc. Yeah. All those in favor signify? Aye. All those against? Motion carried. Okay. So, you want to finish the resolutions?
Yes.
Okay. 9:02, Economic Development Advisory Committee.
Whereas economic development is vital to the growth and sustainability of the City of Bathurst, and whereas a dedicated advisory committee will provide recommendations, insights, and expertise to promote, support, and enhance economic activity within the city, and whereas the terms of reference outline the committee's mandate, goals, reporting structure, and operational framework in alignment with the municipal policies and bylaws. Be it resolved that members of council hereby establish the Economic Development Advisory Committee to provide strategic guidance on economic development matters and accepts the committee's terms of reference.
Have somebody to move? Moved by Councillor Scarry, second by Councillor Hondas. All those in favor of the motion?
If you have a question.
Whoop, sorry. My last rodeo.
Just a question on the number of counselors on it, because I know we've got in the actual body of the act at least one council member. I'd like and up to 9 people on the thing. Okay, because we've always with economic development we've always maintained at 2 counselors on this committee, so I just want to make sure that stays in place.
Yeah. So. With the way it's written, it's a minimum of 1, but you can have up to 3.
Okay, perfect.
Councillor Branch.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Willett. My question's just a quick housekeeping thing. In the terms of reference, it says under frequency bi-monthly. I was just for clarification, we mean every 2 months, or do we mean twice a month? Okay, every 2 months. Thank you.
Councillor Burnett?
Thanks, Mr. Deputy Mayor. And when will this start? We've been waiting for a while, and I'm glad to see this on the table tonight. Really pleased that the people responsible put this together the way they did, and I hope we get into it right away. There's 1 year left in the mandate of this council, and I'd like to see us getting the community involved and behind us to develop our community, develop our city. When will it start?
Mr. Pettigrew?
Thank you, Worship. Following the meeting, the city clerk and I will speak. She'll be going out for. Thank you, Worship. The city clerk will advertise now for those positions that are vacant, and put the advertising. She has a process, and then those that will apply for it. As soon as we receive the applications and the committee members are chosen, we will convene with our first meeting.
Great. I'd like to see it getting going, please.
Thank you. So, all those in favor, please signify. Aye. All those against? Motion carried. 903, renewal of appointments to the Bathurst Aquatic Center Commission.
That Joanie Chalifour, Nina Harris, Catherine Eve Mallet, and Kevin Benoit be appointed to the Aquatic Center Commission for a second term of office expiring April 2026.
Thank you. Could I have somebody move? Councillor Knowles, second by Councillor Andes. Is there any questions on the motion? See no question on the motions. All the ones in favor signify. Aye. Against? Motion carried. 9.4, license agreement, East Coast Adventures.
That council members approve the license agreement between East Coast Adventure Co. and the City of Bathurst, and that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign all related documents on behalf of the city.
Could I have a motion? Moved by Councillor Branch, second by Councillor Anderson. Any questions on the motion? Councillor Burnett, go ahead.
Thanks, Mr. Deputy Mayor. My question is about the one sandwich board. Is that really enough to advertise that they're in there off of the road and hard to see from the main road? Do we have any signage planned for out on the highway, or not on the highway, but on the main road and the entrance too? It's great that they're doing this for us and keeping that open, but is one sandwich board enough to let people know it's open?
I don't know. Through to Mr. Wilbur. Go ahead.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Willett. This is certainly something we can potentially revisit with the city solicitor. I mean, this is, I guess, just standard form legal terms that we had in the agreement. However, should the tenant wish to revisit that, we can certainly take a look at it to potentially see if an addendum to the agreement could be made to that effect if necessary.
Because there's a lot of traffic down there, and then the canteen is sort of hidden off of the main road. So I would like that visit and see if we can help these people survive the best that they can. Please.
Thank you. Okay. All those in favor, please signify. Aye. All those against? Motion carried. Item discussed in camera. Amendment to Housing Accelerator Fund Contribution Agreement.
That council members approve the amendment of the agreement between the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, CMHC, and the City of Bathurst, and that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign all related documents on behalf of the city as discussed in camera on March 24th, 2025, pursuant to Section 68 of the Local Governance Act.
Could I have somebody, a mover? Moved by Councillor Legacy, second by Councillor Knowles. Is there any questions on the motion? Seeing no questions on the motion, all in favor signify. Aye. All against, motion carried. 952, purchase of property at 945 and 955 King Avenue.
Isn't it 345 and 355?
345 and 355.
That members of council approve the purchase of the properties located at 345 and 355 King Avenue, having PID numbers 207-82926 and 20004560 from J.D. Irving Limited in the amount of $75,000 plus applicable taxes as discussed in camera on March 17, 2025 pursuant to Section 68 of the Local Governance Act, and that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign all related documents on behalf of the city.
Could I have a mover to the motion? Moved by Councillor Branch, second by Councillor LeBlanc. Is there any questions on the motion? Seeing no questions on the motions, all in favor signify. Aye. All the ones against, motion carried. Okay, so now we'll go to the presentation from Hennessy House. Mr. Jarrett. Microphone for the podium. Where's the podium? Well, just a minute.
Oh, sorry.
Actually, there we go.
There we go.
Got it.
Okay, I'm going to show you a very short 1-minute film, which gives us a little idea of why I'm here this evening. So, did I do that right? Oh, maybe not.
Hello, bonjour. Welcome to the Maison Doucet Hennessy House in Bathurst, New Brunswick. This house was built by Acadian refugee Charles Doucet on land granted by King George III in 1807. For nearly 2 centuries, it served as home to the Acadian Doucets and the Irish-Scottish Hennessys, families who helped shape this community. In 2010, we established a charitable organization to preserve and restore the Doucet Hennessy House. We've repaired the stone foundation, strengthened the attic, repaired windows, and so much more. We're creating space for arts, culture, and housing in a restored heritage building where history and community meets. Today, we're at a critical moment in the history of this house. Winning the next great save would let us finish the job. Vote for the Maison Doucet Hennessy House from March 31st to April 17th at nextgreatsave.ca. Thank you for your support. Merci pour votre soutien.
Thank you. Well, everybody, thank you very much for listening to that. Good evening, Mayor and Council. It's an honor to be here this evening. I'm Melinda Jarrett, and I am the president of the Maison Doucet Hennessy House Association. The Maison Doucet Hennessy House is one of 12 heritage sites that have been selected for the prestigious National Trust for Canada Next Great Save competition. There is $65,000 in cash prizes to be won by the top 3 contestants in this vote-based contest over an 18-day period, which ends on April 17th. So it's been going on now for 8 days, but there's still 9 more to go. The Next Great Save, what is that anyway? Well, it educates the public, it mobilizes communities, and it saves great places that defined Canada's history and shape our future. It also supports projects that protect, adapt, or renew historic sites, making them more accessible, environmentally sustainable, and inclusive. And the Maison Doucet Hennessy House is one of those places, and it's right here in Bathurst, New Brunswick. This important heritage building was constructed on the original 1807 land grant that was given by King George III, and that's a long time ago, to pioneering Acadian refugee Charles Doucet. From humble beginnings in the diaspora, Charles and his family overcame persecution and hardship to found the first permanent European settlement at Nipisiguit, which is present-day Bathurst, in 1781. Imagine, that long ago, before New Brunswick was a province. Before New Brunswick became a province in 1784, Nipisiguit was just a little northern frontier off of Nova Scotia and what we consider and modern-day Quebec. The Acadian refugees' only neighbors would have been the Mi'kmaq, whose descendants live at Pabineau First Nation today. And by the 1830s, that little colony had grown as the Acadians were joined by an influx of loyalists who were fleeing the American Revolution and Scottish and Irish immigrants. By this time, though, Charles was considered the wealthiest and most successful of all Acadians in New Brunswick, in the whole of New Brunswick. And the house that bears his name stands as a testament to his life and his legacy. A trusted and influential member of Bathurst Catholic leadership, he was a prosperous businessman and landowner involved in community affairs. He would have been on city council if there was such a thing, including the Immigrant Society, the poorhouse, the establishment of a school, and the building of a bridge, the first bridge crossing between downtown and the west side. He also drew the compliments from missionaries who stayed at the home in 1813 in the original house, from bishops, politicians, as well as his French and English-speaking counterparts. He was the youngest son of Charles Doucet, whose story of fleeing Beaubassin, Nova Scotia, after the British takeover in 1750 to eventually settle in Nipisiguit, it symbolizes that deportation experience. And by 1790, their little settlement from 1781, 9 years have passed, was well established in the new province of New Brunswick. And he, Charles, and his son, who was Charles Doucet, also called Charles Doucet, age 22, they applied for a land grant in 1790, and it took 17 long years for them to get the land that eventually, what you see here today, the house is built upon. It took 17 long years, and that's a long time for someone to wait for permission from. Imagine if the housing, the permits from the city of Bathurst took 17 years, there'd be people would be pretty upset. So for nearly 2 centuries, this iconic house has stood like a sentinel on top of the highest hill in the city of Bathurst. It's one of the most visible heritage landmarks in the city, appearing in the first survey maps, as well as engravings, lithographs, and photographs, early photography, in the early Canadian, American, and British publications, travelogues, books, and newspapers from as early as 1837 to, up to modern times, of course, but specifically the 1850s. They show the house basically as it looks today. So those first 100 years, it was the home to the Doucets, and there were 5 generations there who lived. And then the second 100 years, it was the home to the Irish-Scottish Hennessy's, who have their own immigrant story to tell of overcoming adversity with little but their own pluck and determination. So, but after the Second World War, none of all the men in the family having served overseas, they didn't want to go back to the farm. They wanted their own homes. And so with the city incorporating and no longer allowed to have horses, cows, pigs, ducks, and chickens and everything else here for sale coming out of the farm, they decided to start breaking down what was then a very important part of the city and breaking it down into subdivisions. So this is what you see today with the Hennessy subdivision. Hennessy Street, Varley Street, and then of course all the way up to the college, all that land was sold off. So it was eventually transformed then into, in its day, one of the most sought-after neighborhoods in the city of Bathurst. So the house has history that includes both French and English-speaking pioneer families, and it's an important symbol of both the Acadian resilience and the Irish-Scottish immigrant community that built the city of Bathurst that we know today. It also represents that unique intercultural character of Bathurst, and it's one of the few truly bilingual communities in New Brunswick. So it demonstrates in a very compelling way how people, and I mean just ordinary people, because they weren't politicians, they weren't, they were just ordinary working people who did well for themselves, how they can get along. And they've always lived together and always worked together. And if you go through the genealogical record of both the Doucets and the Hennessys, you'll find that they're both standing up for each other at weddings and ceremonies, rites of passage, baptisms, and that sort of thing. It's really awesome to look at that documentary record. And in fact, in my own family, I have 2 Doucets. So here you see, even today in modern times. So in 2010, the house was under threat of demolition, and a group of very passionate heritage advocates, including myself and a number of other people in the city, who represent the families, but also outside of the family. They're people who are have always been involved in history or one way or the other. We formed the Maison Doucette Hennessy House Association with a view to repurposing the building for community cultural use. And then in March 2020, we finally, after multiple surveys, studies, reports, structural engineering reports, dendrochronology studies, historical research reports, reports on the nails and on the shingles. You can imagine the stuff that's been done at that house. We've done just about every report, the feasibility studies, business plans, everything else, and applications for funding. Just as we were ready to get started on March 6, 2020, you know what happened the next week? The declaration of the pandemic. So it really took the wind out of our sails. A lot of things had to change. We had to pivot. The work continued, though. It took longer than expected, of course. We ran into major stumbling blocks with not only skilled and unskilled labor supply, but also supply chain issues of getting the things that we needed, like a beam from Vancouver. Do you know how hard it is to get a custom-built wooden beam from Vancouver in the middle of COVID? It was very difficult. 30 feet beam. Things like that, and we just it was difficult, but we finished. We got funding from the federal and provincial governments and the city too, and we also raised our own funds. And that project, phase one, what as the architect and the engineer said, is to keep the rain out, keep the water out, and keep the critters out. So we did a lot of work on the foundation, repaired the foundation, which was falling in on itself. We also strengthened the foundation with an addition of 21 jack posts in the basement to support to raise the floor so that it would be even, support the walls, strengthen the ceilings and the attic, and soil drainage issues, exterior shingles. I mean, there was just so much work done, and that amounted to about $340,000 in phase one. And that's a lot of that's inside, but a lot of it's outside too. So it's visible to the public, and also things that you don't see inside. Now we are in phase two, or the first part of phase two, and we are working on the front section of the building. We've completely gutted it. It's exposing now the original beams, the original stud, all the wonderful old yucky old horsehair plaster. That's all gone now. And in fact, tomorrow we're starting the insulation, and this is another $100,000 investment. So to date, we have invested for about $450,000 into the project, and that does not include all the work that's been done over the years and the volunteer labor, which was and the efforts just keeping the lights on over the last 10, 15 years, 15 years actually, which would certainly be over $1 million. So, you know, our goal is to create an experience for our visitors. We want to provide a comfortable community space where they can create, they can learn, they can work as up-and-coming and professional artists, as heritage enthusiasts and cultural producers. We're going to rent space to social entrepreneurs who agree with our mission to preserve the heritage and educate the public about this important heritage space, and to maintain the building so that it has another third century of life, because we're really in the third century of its life. It was here in the 1800s, it was here in the 1900s, and now we are again here. We're in the 21st century, and there's no reason why it can't live for another 100 years. And we're also going to improve its energy efficiency, because, as you know, you can't afford to heat a big building like that in the modern times, and reduce our heating costs and our carbon footprint by incorporating solar energy, and that serves as a model of energy efficiency for the whole city of Bathurst. What I want to see is people driving by, those 25,000 cars that are driving by that corner, the corners of Hennessy Street or of St. Anne Street and St. Peter Avenue, and say, wow, if they can do that in a 200-year-old building, why can't we do it in our 50-year-old building or 20-year-old building? There's no reason why people can't use solar energy to reduce the carbon imprint and let more of a green economy here in this area, and also encourage people to do it. So in repurposing the house as a cultural hub for the community, we're also ensuring a reliable revenue stream by providing 2 new housing units that are aimed at low to moderate income earners. And in fact, for that matter, we had a meeting today with Chris legacy to discuss the Housing Accelerator Fund, so we are certainly going to be pursuing that. So if you haven't, I know that this is a lot to absorb, but I wanted to give you a history lesson about the house, because I know some of you are new and you may wonder, what is that house all about? Well, it's a very important part of our community. It has a role to play, has had a role to play. The people who lived in it built this city, and their descendants are very much alive and are very proud of the role that their ancestors played in this community. And it continues to bring life to our cultural sector. We have done a lot of work in the last 15 years to bring arts, culture, and heritage into the building and into the city. And we can plan to continue doing so. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. But in the meantime, we do hope that you will support us by voting for us in the next Great Save competition, and also as we continue to repurpose the building past the next Great Save competition into its third century of use. So thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me tonight, and for my history lesson on not only on the Maison Douce Hennessy House, but on the city of Bathurst. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for your presentation. Our group at the old post office got to meet Greg Munn last week. So he was telling us about the idea of putting two apartments in there and trying to get to help with the rest of the restorations.
Yes.
Got a question here, so Councillor Burnett.
Thanks, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Thanks for your presentation. My question is about your board.
Yes.
How is your board doing? There's some groups that are having a hard time getting volunteers, and I'm wondering, are you in that group, or are you doing okay with recruiting new members? Because like you say, 15 years is quite a commitment by people to be there.
Well, it is hard, as you well know. Anybody who works with nonprofit organizations, one of the hardest parts is to get an executive, functioning executive, and especially treasurers. They're very hard to get. But we have been very lucky. We're very fortunate. We've got a hardworking board, and we can always use more help. Where we'd really like to have someone. We have a vacancy on our board. Really would like to have someone with knowledge of construction and who has understanding of the delicate, the issues are surrounding working with the heritage sector, and perhaps even might have a little bit of wherewithal when it comes to connecting into the federal provincial funding, because I myself have a long record of working in the heritage sector, but it's easy to say, oh, Melinda will do it, and it would be I would appreciate it if we could have someone with a little bit of that knowledge to come on board, and especially construction would be great. But no, our board, we have, except for the one seat which needs to be filled, we're doing okay. Could always use more, though.
Thank you. Thank you.
Councillor Hondas.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Willett. Thank you for the history lesson, and just to let you know that I've been voting pretty much every day since it started, so I go home, I vote today. So I just strongly recommend that everybody take a minute. It takes a minute. They ask you for your email, yes or no, support the Hennessy House, then you confirm, and off you go. If you have multiple emails, multiple votes, the more we can help them, $5,000 that they can well use, then that's a great mainstay for our city. So I don't know if we have it on the city website, if we can find a way to put it there so people have more access to it.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you.
Let's push it as much as we can, because the only way that we can get them to be successful is that we participate. And so I have 2 emails. I'm voting twice. Hopefully that's legal, but
I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's get it. Let's go and support. I'm just asking the population to listen to these people, to keep this house alive for another. It'll be gone. It'll be here probably longer than I will. So, but if you can take 2 minutes in order to vote for them, let's help them out as much as we can.
Thank you very much. And it does take a community to love a building like this. A lot of people. I will leave you with this thought. How many times have you walked by or heard someone say, "Someone should do something about that"? How many times have you heard that? They should do something about that. Well, you know what? That someone and that they is you and me. And we're trying our hardest. We need your help. We need your support. We know that this is going to work. It's going to be a slog. It's not easy. Working in the heritage sector is not easy, I can tell you, as someone who is a professional working in the heritage sector. And I've been doing this for many, many years as a curator, executive director of provincial institutions, and it is difficult at the best of times in the arts, culture, and heritage. So when we have something like this that galvanizes a community, I've been saying, even if we don't win, I feel like I have been at the Olympics. This is the Olympics of heritage sites, because all the people who are involved in this competition are the best of the best. We've gone through a very rigorous process to be accepted into the Next Great Save contest, and just to be a participant in it is like being in the Olympics, and I think it's an honor to have been selected. And we've received a lot of publicity, which we would never have gained on an ordinary day. So it has galvanized that for us, and I'm very pleased to be able to, even speaking here today about this. And I also wanted, though, to make sure, at the suggestion of Councillor Brunet, that I should come in here and talk to you about the house and what we're doing there. And please come. Tomorrow we're starting to close in the deconstructed, and you may have looked at some of our Facebook and videos. It's really wonderful. The beams will be saved. You're going to be able to see the beams moving into the future, and that's the priceless. Let me tell you, they're gorgeous. And it's wooden dowel construction, no nails on the main floor. We haven't been seeing too many nails, and so it's if you're interested in construction, now's the time to go. You're welcome to go. You can walk in. The workers are there, and they'll let you go see the main floor and see what's happening there. So thank you very, very much for taking the time to listen to me today, and I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you.
I think Mr. Burnett had another question.
Thanks, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Can we get that put on our screen downtown? Vote.
It is.
It is now?
Yes, it's been since day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got all that arranged.
Well, we have a good
We
communication.
had an insider in the
so.
City Hall.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Bye-bye now.
Okay, do we have any reports for administration
There were no reports from administration or from committees.
or for the committees? Okay, for the mayor's report, myself and the mayor and Mr. Pettigrew attended the UMNB. Was quite a bit of ministers that made themselves available while we were there. Easy to get along, easy to get by, to be able to start conversation with everybody. So all three parties were there. It was pretty easy to get conversation going with all of them. Besides that, we had one-on-one meetings with the Department of Transportations and the housing. I don't know if you want to talk about that, Mr. Pettigrew, or...
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, we were fortunate enough to sign up for a half-an-hour session. We were chosen to meet with Housing New Brunswick and Department of Transportation, so we brought forward some issues where, as a municipality, we'd like to see some, how we can work together and progress and have, more development, and what we can do to help them to be able to develop more facilities and locations in the city. And also with Department of Transportation, I'm not going to speak for always looking for opportunities to see if they can invest some more funds or invest some more funds in the north here and in Bathurst on our road infrastructure, if we could get some help. So we had some pretty good, meaningful conversations. They will be bringing those back to their counterparts for discussions internally. There is some operational stuff that they looked at that we brought forward that they weren't aware of. But it was a great conversation and some more contacts that we can continue our conversations with moving forward.
Thank you, Mr. Pettigrew. The other thing that we've been working with is the announcement for the closure of the Academy Assumption School. So basically, we had a meeting at the KCI with the group of parents. There was myself, the mayor, Councillor LeBlanc and Councillor Hondas that attended the meeting. Basically, we have a lawyer now that's looking into the effect. This is something that I find deplorable that the Department of Education Northeast put this on us 3 or 4 days after the election to decide to close the school. But the minister has decided to support the decision of the school board. So basically, we're going to be working on try to do everything we can to keep that school open. You know, like there's only that would only leave us with one francophone elementary school, and I myself don't think that that's acceptable. On devrait être capable d'avoir 2 écoles élémentaires françaises, qu'on puisse garder la langue française plus adaptable dans toute la ville de Bathurst. Il y a aussi le problème qu'on essaie de développer East Bathurst encore un peu, puis ça aide pas les affaires quand tu enlèves une école dans une certaine région. À part de ça, on a le groupe Coaction. Ça fait que eux autres vont faire ils reviennent de nouveau avec le souper spaghetti. So they're going to have a like they're only doing bay breakfast. So they're going to be doing bay breakfast. So it'll be on April 13th or May 2nd. Okay. Hey. Avec le Bay Breakfast organisé par Coaction, notre Conseil jeunesse de Bathurst aura lieu le matin du 2 mai 2025. Vous aurez l'occasion de visiter différents restaurants de la région pour discuter un déjeuner au coût de 12 $. Une partie des fonds sera remis à Coaction afin de soutenir l'organisation d'activités inclusives pour les jeunes de notre communauté. Pour plus d'informations, rendez-vous sur la page Facebook Bay Breakfast Déjeuner de la Baie. So the Bay Breakfast organized by Coaction, our Bathurst Youth Council, will take place on the morning of May 2nd, 2025. You'll have the opportunity to visit various restaurants in the region to enjoy a breakfast for $12. A portion of the proceeds will be donated to Coaction to support the organization of inclusive activities of young people in our community. So for more information, you can go to Facebook to the Bay Breakfast. So Councillor Legacy works very closely with this group, people, the young students, and they're really getting involved in the community with different events, and there'll be more events coming besides that as the summer gets closer by. Besides that, I got Councillor Scarry that would like to say a few words for another subject. Oh, sorry. There you go.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor Willett. I guess we all saw it posted just recently. Back on March 17th, we learned that the members of the Gloucester chapter of the IODE retired their chapter after 78 years. We would like to take, on behalf of the city of Bathurst and anybody that has ever been helped out by the IODE, we would like to thank them very much for their dedication and commitment to making our Chaleur region that much better place to live through scholarships, comfort baskets, the IOD Harvest Fair, and the list goes on and on for what they have done over that 78 years. Their support of the many local groups and causes is going to be missed for sure. And on behalf of everybody, including council, I would like to thank the Gloucester Chapter IODE for all that they have done in our region for the last 78 years.
Thank you very much. Councillor Scary. So we have a proclamation, Earth Day, April 22nd, 2025. So whereas Earth Day is celebrated on April 22nd each year and is a key time to unite our community and make a positive impact on the environment, and whereas Earth Day is known as a movement to change the business climate, political climate, and how we take action on climate change, and whereas the climate change is being observed, experienced at an increasingly local level and needs to be taken seriously, and whereas local levels of government are finding themselves at the front line of the battle against climate change, and whereas the mounting environmental challenge that we are facing will require our towns and cities to take a leading role in the fight for a more sustainable world. Now, therefore, be it known that I, Michael Willett, Deputy Mayor of Bathurst, proclaiming April 22nd, 2025 as Earth Day in the City of Bathurst, and encourage all residents to learn more and understand their role in helping combat climate change and make a positive impact on the environment on Earth Day and every day. Thank you. That's it. So we'll move for adjournment.
That the regular public meeting be adjourned at 7:22 p.m.
Can I have a mover? Councillor Andaz, second by Councillor Scary. All those in favor signify.
Right.
Have a good day, everybody. Thank you.